Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the Digester. How are we, folks? Go, right, let women speak at Liverpool. My God, these people are mad, aren't they? Did you see them? Somebody was going around with a piece of cardboard and written on the back of their sign was microwave oven. So if you photographed them the other round, it looked like they were demonstrating for white goods. They never fail to make me laugh, these TRA twats. Didn't shower themselves in glory, is there? Somebody said that one of them was a Labour councillor. Really? I'd like to know who. If anybody knows who the Labour councillor was at Let Women Speak in Liverpool, this man would like to know who. Could be somebody winding us up, of course. They were being a bit, what's the word? Elusive. No, not elusive. Evasive. They were being a bit evasive on the old Twittoids. I know who that is, but I'm not telling anybody unless you DM me. And if you go and Google this site, you will find XYZ. It all seemed a bit, put it, no. But if it's true, we'd like to know so that we can shame him in public, loudly. So if you do know, if it was true, let me know. Stick his name on Twitter, sod it. Take him down. That's what I say. So what was that about? Their behaviour was extraordinary, wasn't it? Absolutely extraordinary. So we're going back to basics today. If you can PayPal me some money or buy me a coffee, please do. It's in the Dubras. All right, okay. And Warrior Teacher's going to start putting stuff up soon. Okay. We've had a problem. I can't tell you about. Nothing major. Just a difficulty in enabling people to get on board in the enrolment process that needs looking at. I don't understand why banks makes things so difficult. At any rate, Josephine Bartosz. If you are not a fan, know of, or like, or have even come across the marvellous Josephine Bartosz, it's time you did. Jo Bartosz is on Twitter, and she's written a great piece here for Artillery Row in The Critic, which has been a consistently strong voice in this utter nonsense. And it takes us back to the basics, which is, it's where I came in to a certain degree because this was one of the rituals that I was expected to indulge in that I refused to do when I lost all my work. And it's called the pronoun ritual. Has it taken over society? And Josephine writes, to me, comrade is one of those words that evokes dismal memories of sipping tepid tea in damp meeting rooms, whilst dull men droned on about changing the world with leaflets. To Egan, a friend who grew up in Slovakia, the term has a very different association. We were expected to use it all the time, even referring to our teachers as comrade teacher. She told me over her beer, in her adopted city of Prague. Egan talked at length about the suffocating and deeply parked patriarchal regime of her childhood. The alien and unwieldy terminology Egan remembers was imposed by a communist government. With the fall of the Iron Curtain, tongues were untied, and the torturous phraseology of compelled speech quickly withered away. Today it lives only in the memory of those who were forced to use it. Joe here, of course, talking about the murderous communist regime that started with Stalin and ended with Chernobyl. Truth be told, I think Chernobyl has a big part to play in the end of this. We talk about this with Warrior Teachers, we discuss this kind of thing. But it's interesting because if you watch Chernobyl, which is a great, extraordinary series, but for goodness sake, don't start it late because you'll be up to the middle of the night. Because once you've seen one, you've got to watch them all. But in that, it's comrade, this and comrade that and comrade t'other. And the same goes for a film called Citizen X with Stephen Rea, which was about the one of the most prolific serial killers in history who operated in Russia. And again, you see comrade Bukovsky, comrade whatever it may be, is this ritualized state speak where you have to show your constant capitulation to an ideology. This week, Joe writes, the words of a judge here in England reminded me of my conversation with Egan. At the commencement of Professor Joe Phoenix's employment tribunal against the Open University for alleged discrimination because of her gender-critical beliefs, Lady Justice Young asked the opposing counsels to state their preferred pronouns, Some might view this request as small and costless courtesy. The context of Phoenix's case, however, shows why the demand is anything but. I sat and I was watching because, as usual, the marvellous tribunal tweets, again offering a public service of extraordinary value, were at Joe Phoenix's employment tribunal this week, as Joe mentions in the article there, and I had to keep refreshing in case I'd read it. No, I've read that wrong. That a judge in a court of law in England asked for the pronouns of the individuals involved in the case, which showed to no, without, you can't equivocate this one, there is no equivocation here on this one, which showed not just hers, but the English system's allegiance to a foul ideology perpetrated by nutters, right? So this is something that's going to have to be looked at. Now, Joe, who's been through the ringer this week for 2 days or more in this employment tribunal, will win or will lose her case. Although when I saw what was happening when one of the people that were on the other side was speaking yesterday, I was thinking she can't lose this. But who knows? Where is the judge's loyalty? Who knows? How much will that loyalty affect the judge? Now, I want to think the judge is professional enough to keep her personal feelings out of the courtroom. But if that's the case, why was she asking for pronouns? You tell me what you think, because I think there's something terribly wrong. Now, regardless of that, Joe will either win or lose. But having one of the ones on the other side actually admit that they didn't want people to speak was rather glorious. It's like every time you stick TRA nutters and, the far left academic gooks who did caused all this trouble, once you get them on the stand, they give themselves away. I always say it, it's like Tom Cruise, isn't it? Did you order the code red? And Jack Nicholson goes, you're damn right I did, because he can't stand lying about his actual feelings anymore. That was an extraordinary moment in a film called For a Few Good Men. You're welcome to that small interlude. Right, okay. A court of law. If you like to let me it stops. And I've seen other people do it. Now, Colette Colfer is doing some phenomenal work in Ireland on this issue. Phenomenal work. Same as Joe Phoenix. I've seen other people, Kathleen Stock. I've seen other people say, I'll use the correct, I'm not doing it. You don't give these people an inch, okay? Because of what they are. Now, Joe, rightly, talking about her friend, and I've got friends in the same situation, right, who had family that went far back enough to remember Stalin and the gulags and the Holodomor and all the absolute horror of leftism in the 20th century. So I've got friends that remember that. We don't play in that arena, folks, and yet the judge seems to, and I wonder why. I'm not sure. Are you allowed to criticise a judge? I don't know. Are we anymore? Can I say what I think about this particular judge? Can I? I don't know anymore. We're lost in a milieu of nonsense. And we've got a judge saying, you will say these words, or I want you to say these words, with the power of the law behind them. With the power of the law behind them. I've just realised I don't know if the judge is a she or he. I think it's a she. With the power of the law behind them, right? Well, I read it and I couldn't believe it. Joe must have shivered, right? And obviously asking for a recusal, or to end the case would have really just expanded the whole thing further and longer along. And the process is the punishment, so it's taken too long already. What are your pronouns in a courtroom? Same situation as happened to Maria McLachlan when she was forced to call her rapist she. So I'm disappointed. It doesn't make me disrespect anyone. I just get disappointed, for example, when I see people who are doing great work, such as Colette Colfer. And such as, whoever it may be, give these fucks an inch. You don't give them an inch. Not 1 inch. Not one. Because you can't. You can't afford to, because that's how they work. Or try this. No, that's not going to work. Try again. Try again. They are a child. They are a child. They are a child. That's what they are. Demanding, overwrought, dangerous, psychotic child. You don't give them an inch. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Look, there's more to the article. Obviously, I've only read you a little bit because Joe Phoenix has taken the time to write it. You will take the time to go and read it. Oh, God, I say the same shit all the time, don't I? People must be getting fed up with me by now, I'm sure. Other than that, look, have a cracking time, all right? Do whatever you're going to do. Enjoy yourself. Battle of Ideas coming up. Oh, I'm very excited. End of October. I'll see you folks later. Bye.